Hello, Camille from Rain or Shine Farm here. And today I have another green stock container garden unboxing. So I have the green stock. A couple of videos ago, you saw me get the trellises for the peas, some of the berry cups and the watering system and the little greenhouses. So after my peas were growing, wanted to get something else. So I did another order with them. So I will show you what I got. So I have this giant thing, which is actually for indoor containers. Has wheels. I'm going to use it with a citrus tree that I have inside that I move in and out depending on the season. And the nice thing about this is it's taped right now, but there's actually a tray here that collects water. So if you've ever watered plants indoors, most of my house plants I water them from the bottom, sorry. Or I'll do overhead watering as long as they can freely drain and sit for a while. So sometimes I'll put them like in the shower. We have like a dog shower at my house. So I put them in there because it's really easy to get them in and out and they can sit there for a while. It's not like our main bathroom. So um that works well and they can drain. Because you either want to water them a lot and have the water drain all the way through, and then kind of like once they're done dripping water, then you can put them back on their stands or with your little bottom parts of the plant to get any like other drips or anything like that. Or you want them kind of like, yeah, on a stand, or you can water them from the bottom. So that would be like you fill a bathtub or a container of some kind and you put the plant in it, and they have to have obviously a hole in the bottom of the container for the water to go in. And then in theory, the plant soaks up as much water as they need. And then and for some plants, overhead watering, the leaves don't like it. It kind of depends on the plant, but um, so for me, it depends on the time of year as to what I'm doing. Um, at my old house, I just kept like a bucket basically in the nice time of year. So when it's like warmer, I'd put it in the shade, but I would take my houseplant out, put it in there, and it could get as much water as it needed from the bucket itself. And then I would pick up the plant, take it back in, and again, usually I have to have it sit somewhere to drain to get the last bits of water out, and then put it back on its stand or wherever it was. Typically, even if you water from the bottom and you let it dry, usually you still want something to put the pot on because sometimes there's like soil staining or just moisture. So I got this because I have a stand for my citrus plant, and I even have a cork like piece that goes underneath the pot where the hole is. So I have like a pot with the plant in it, then I have a decorative pot that also still has a hole in the bottom of it. Um and then I have it on a stand with a cork piece in between, which in theory makes the plant level and like could potentially, absorb any small amounts of water or have any of the staining and stuff like that that might happen if you put it like directly on the floor or on a piece of furniture. But even with that, I still get like pieces from the plant falling down, and sometimes they're still staining on the floor wherever you put it, unless you have like a container, not that, but like a tray that the plant itself goes in. So I saw that they had this, so it's their ultimate mover is what it's called from Greenstock. And this is specifically for indoor plant, and it's quite large, like it's bigger than my green stock container is at the bottom. It's certainly bigger than the plant I have, but they have it. I got black because the bottom of my plant pot is black. But I want to preserve my floors. And then this still allows you to like move it Easily, which I do again with the citrus tree. I move it outside in the summer months, somewhere warm, somewhat shaded, usually on a patio, and then in the winter it's inside because it's too cold where I live for citrus. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna try that out because I haven't had like great luck with my current situation I'm doing. So that's for indoor. Okay, and then what else did I get? So these are the plant supports. So all of their things come in bag. I think I got 3 of these plant supports. So I'll take one apart and show you. So again, here's a card they put in here. So here's like what your container looks like, and then the plant support is this thing. So it's like a ring that goes around, and it tells you in here how to do it. So you basically will take all of these individual pieces and you'll put them together. Um, to form a ring and attach them to the green stalk. And then as your plants grow, you like guide them through the hole and then they'll have that way they can't like fall over and break. So if you had tomatoes, if you had like really anything big, anything that's going to get heavy. So I'll see with the peas, I sort of got them for this. It may not be necessary, but I'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you were going to do anything bigger or trailing of any kind, especially with fruit on it, um, then this would be good so that your plants don't literally like break in half when you do it. Um, so I will be putting that on for where the peas are, just so they have a little more support to keep climbing. So like I said, I got 3 of those. They come in a pack of, you can either get 1 or 3. Obviously you could order them individually, but they have like a pack of 3. What else? I got a free bee magnet because I ordered like a certain amount. So that's cute. What else did I get? Oh, here's my very nice uh envelope. They have a ladybug sticker on it. So I got some more stickers in here. So I got a cute little green stalk sticker. Oh, this one's a magnet actually. And then a butterfly that I'll put on my green stalk. And then they just have their card so you can check out all their free resources or get anything else that you might need. What else did I get? I got a like half apron because I've been wanting one for a while. Some of the like homesteading people I follow on YouTube, like Jess on Roots and Refuge, have these aprons like for cooking and garden stuff that like they tie around your waist and then they're kind of just like the skirt part of an apron instead of the top part. And I have a lot like for cooking that have the top part, which is nice for cooking, but this one is kind of more for gardening. It's a little thicker material, more like a canvas instead of like cotton. Um, and so you could obviously like you tie it around your waist and then you have extra pockets basically for that. So I have overalls that I wear that have like knee pads in them, so if I'm planting stuff, and especially for me in the kind of like rainier season of the year, or if I'm gonna be kneeling down a lot, I use those because it's easy and I just like put it over my clothes generally. And then but for when it's warmer or when I'm more just needing to carry stuff around, I thought this might be kind of nice. And I could see if I like it also as like a for cooking apron, just the kind of like half version of it. So that's nice. What else did I get? Oh, I got some plant markers because I am like totally out. Uh, so I've been using sticks and writing on them with Sharpie recently as I've put my plants out. I'm just untying this so we can see. But yeah, everything comes in these nice little basically like storage bags so you can keep everything organized when you take them apart for the year. Again, depending on your climate. I'll leave my green stock up. When I had a greenhouse, I would take it apart and put it in the greenhouse and maybe put it back together in there. Um, I did that over winter one time. One time I just took it apart and put all of it in there. So I got these plant markers that are kind of like they're a piece of wood, but they're kind of like have some, I don't know, like laminate on them, some smoothness. So, it's not plastic that will degrade and fall apart into microplastics in your raised beds. And it's like a pretty substantial, like you could write 2 lines on here, which is often I use popsicle sticks, which are super cheap, and pretty easy. They do where I live in the rainy season, they like will break apart or rot. For summer it's usually okay, but it's really hard to write anything like the variety name on there. Sometimes I'll write like tomato on one side and on the other side I'll put the variety. But most of the time I'm just writing like carrots. And I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to what variety it is. So I'm excited about those plant markers. Oh, and then I have some more plant markers, but these ones are specifically for the green stock container. So they are more substantial and permanent. So they have this like metal label that you can write on, I believe like with Sharpie or with a garden marker. And then, sorry, that's my timer. So yeah, we have these are markers. So you kind of like, I think, you like tuck them down into each little pocket and then you write on it here. And they're supposed to be kind of like you can wash them and like rewrite on them. And obviously they're metal. They're not gonna degrade. Where I live, they'll probably rust. Um, Unless they're galvanized, which they might be. I could try to check. But just a set of 25 plant markers. So the wooden plant markers were pretty cheap. Um, these were more expensive. Yeah, it says use a permanent marker to label your plant markers. To remove, use acetone or nail polish remover, and they're stainless steel. So very nice, built for the green stock containers. Right now, the stuff I have in there, personally, I don't really need to label. It's like I have strawberries, I have peas, I have strawberries. I have one layer of kind of like a mix of stuff, seeds from my old garden. And then I have Jerusalem artichokes or sunchokes at the bottom. And that's pretty much it. And each tier is like a different plant. So, um, but if I do other things in the future, I'll probably eventually move all my strawberries out of there and into a bed. Um, it's nice to have them in there. I get fruit a little earlier. But personally, I haven't experienced. So a lot of people grow them in there because it's right. You can put it right next to your door. Super accessible. You can make sure they get watered enough, but a lot of time people have to fight birds or pests like slugs for berries, especially if you live in a place where it's rainy during the time that strawberries are fruiting, which is kind of like May, June, depending on your location. Mine are all getting berries right now, and for me, it's May 18th as I record this. For you, you'll probably see this next week. Um, so it's still May here. None of mine are like anywhere close to wanting to eat them. They're still like very green, but they are fruiting now. So a couple still have flowers, but they're mostly moved into, they've set fruit. So in some places I know it's warmer, they have strawberries already. We're in like the south or warmer places. So for us, it's mostly like late May, June, maybe a tiny bit into July, we'll have berries. Um, but they don't last super long. So, um, anyway, so yeah, once I move some stuff out of there, I might have things that in the future, I want to label my seeds a bit more, especially in the wintertime when you're like, I don't know what's in there because perhaps nothing's above the surface. Like the Jerusalem artichokes, they kind of look like sunflowers, but they have like a bulb kind of or a tuber. That's the part that you can eat. But in the wintertime, you just have that part in the soil and there's nothing above the surface. So uh, those would be like a good reminder to me in the winter. So yeah, I think that's everything. Just gonna check. Yeah, so it says I got my 25 set of 7-inch plant markers, which are for the green stalk, the wooden plant labels, this free bee magnet. Oh, it's sticking to my um thing in front of me, my table. I'll pull it out to show you. It's a little bee, and then it has a little piece on the back. Um, so it's pretty cute. The 3 plant supports, the half apron, and then the indoor plant thing is called the Ultimate Mover in black. They also have it in like cream or the mostly neutral colors of black, a cream, and maybe like a blue, navy color. I was debating between black and cream because my house is very light colors, but that pot itself has black on the bottom, so I figured the black would actually like blend in better. So I am gonna go set up that now probably, and then I'm gonna set up my plant supports, and then I'll check back in with the video and show those to you. See them. Right. So I have now installed my extender plant supports. So I have these trellises that I had for the peas. Actually, these are called the extenders to get the peas kind of to this point. And now I've installed all of these. So it comes of 6 of these pieces that attach to this part in between the pockets, and then 6 of these pieces that go from here to here that latch onto that. So you can see here, if we go all the way around, it goes all the way around. So for peas, I'm going to just say, yeah, the trellises were helpful. They kind of help extend it to get them here. I've tucked all my peas basically along the inside because once they do get pods where the flowers are, they will be heavier and they will start to sag over a bit. The peas have been kind of trying to cling to anything they can find, which like over here meant like some strawberry plants, or I think over here they grabbed the garlic. So I'm going to try to kind of direct them to grab onto, so peas have like tendrils. Um, so I'm going to try to direct them to actually hold on to this thing now that they have support here. So I guess, I put them at the same level. So the peas actually, the seeds are down here. They go up into the next level. So the other thing you could do, I guess, is put an extender up one level higher here and then do them here too. So then it would, I can hear the chickens because they can see me, but because then it would actually add a level right here. So the peas could also actually cling to that. So maybe I'm going to add that as well, a second level, and I'll see kind of which one I think. I think you'll need this one because it's going to be hard to bridge them up to there. But like this one's already up high enough, it could probably reach if I had another extender up there. And because I bought 3, I'll probably put another one up here just to try it, to see. My cilantro's already bolting. Yeah, and then for the strawberries, I'm not going to use anything. Strawberries are pretty tough. Oh, look, a little pea pod, my first one. Um, yeah, so I'm excited about to see how these peas do. Again, peas probably aren't really heavy enough to totally need this, but if you were to do something like tomatoes, peppers, anything more substantial that would have a lot of heavy fruit that might break the plants, this would be very helpful to kind of like um keep those upright. So if you had a tomato plant, for example, you'd tuck it into here, and then you could tie it to this, or it might just lean against it. Yeah, and then it would allow you to have pretty big plants there. So I'll just step all the way back so you can see. So we're looking nice and filled out, and yeah, I've added my watering system here. So there's a valve here, and this is where the water will get dumped out into the pan at the top. If you look down at the bottom, it's not actually connected to a hose yet, because we actually just had a ton of rain last week, like 2 inches in only a couple of days. So that was plenty for this, but yeah, but I will have to hook that up once it gets closer to summer and we aren't getting rain anymore. There's the chickens out there screaming. You can barely see them in the jungle. um, okay. And then I'll show you the ultimate mover spinner on the indoor plant that I have in just a moment. We are now in my laundry room where the dog shower is that I talked about earlier. So this is my very sad looking citrus plant. I put it outside and it was cold and rainy and it did not like that. I thought it would like the rain, but I think it just shocked it. So it's dropping all kinds of leaves, as you can see. Here's the pot that I have it in. And then here it is on the mover. So I rolled it in here and it was taped here, but this is the tray that will collect the water to make sure it doesn't spill on your floor. And then I think this thing will show you how much water is in there, so that you know when to take it out so you don't overflow it. But it spins all the way around. It's bigger than this pot, as you can see, but so this is water in here with warm-ish water. I'll let it drain all the way through, sit here for probably a day, and then I'll put it back in its pot and take the mover and put it out into the back into direct light. But yeah, we are looking very sad right now. This is its second winter it made it through, so it's probably gonna make it, but you have to be very nice to your baby citrus. So this is like the challenge of indoor plants in general. A lot of them are tropical plants, and they don't really like our 4 seasons weather as much. So, all right. We'll end it in here for now in the dog shower. See you later.